All right, colleagues, everyone, welcome to this workshop, KAIROS series workshop. We are set to go, and yeah, we'll have an order of how we do things now. I'll invite Dr. Eman Sop to provide the introduction, and then she will hand over to the moderator of this workshop, Dr. Flora Namu. All right, Eman, over to you.
Thank you. Good day, everyone, and welcome to this workshop. I am delighted to welcome you all to the ASFI KAIROS workshop taking place today, 13th March 2026. This workshop is inspired by the series of Art of Career Time and Timing, which forms part of Prof. Noaro, Bright Noaro Career Navigator. The theme of today's workshop is putting it all together. Over the past several weeks, from 12th January to 23rd February 2026, the Art of Career Time and Timing series starts. It was published weekly with 8 articles published, released each Monday. This series explored the importance of careers are not shaped by just hard working and planning, but also by timing, by those critical moments when opportunity, readiness, and decision intersect. In other words, we might call it career KAIROS moments. The purpose of today's workshop is to move beyond simply reading these ideas. Instead, we want to bring them together into practical framework that helps us recognize, interpret, and act on these moments in our own professional journeys. One of the most powerful things about this series is that it invites reflection. Some readers have even said that after engaging with the series, they almost wished they could start their careers again. And I am one of them. While we cannot rewind time, we can certainly revisit our journey with new awareness, reflecting on where we have been, where we are now, and where the next meaningful opportunities might lie. That is why today's gathering is important. It gives us the opportunity not only to reflect individually, but also to learn from each other. There is great value in shared insights, in hearing different experiences, and in collectively thinking about how we navigate our careers more intentionally. So I encourage each of us to be fully present, to listen carefully, reflect deeply, and contribute your voice to the conversation. This is not a one-side talking. It is a shared conversation. Once again, we welcome you all to the ASFI KAIROS workshop, and I look forward to a rich and engaging discussion together, and please be active participants. And now I invite Dr. Flora Namu, our moderator, to start her talk. Thank you. Dr. Flora, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eman, for that wonderful introduction to this workshop and the warm welcome. It is a pleasure for me to moderate this workshop on putting it together, the art of career time and timing. Today's session brings together the key insights from the KAIROS series, which explores how careers are shaped and not only by effort and chronological time, but by KAIROS, that is the right moment when preparation, opportunity, and courage intersect. So over the next 2 hours, colleagues, we will have an exciting moment of reflection from the author of the KAIROS series. We will have expert commentaries, insight from readers of this series, and we will engage in breakout discussions to reflect on how these ideas apply to our own professional journeys. So I encourage every one of us to participate actively, to reflect honestly, and think about how the concept of KAIROS moment may shape the next steps in your career. Now, before we hear from the author of the KAIROS series, I would like first to position the KAIROS series well. As Dr. Eman has said, it has made her to reflect on her journey. And even for myself, across the 8 papers, you see the series explores an important idea that professional lives are shaped by 2 dimensions of time. One is the chronos, which is the ordinary passage of time through daily work, preparation, and persistence. Then we have the kairos, the decisive moment when opportunity appears and action has to be taken. So the series reminds us that while preparation is essential, careers are often transformed by the moment when we recognize the opportunity and act with courage. And so we need to reflect on this throughout the workshop and ask ourselves, how has it helped us in readiness, discernment, in our lives and in our careers? And so, colleagues, it's my pleasure now to invite the author of the KAIROS series, Professor Bright Nwaru, to share the reflections and motivations behind this thought-provoking work. Please help me welcome Professor Bright by clapping for him. Let's clap for Professor Bright.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Namo, for the introduction. All right, so, and welcome everyone to this workshop. The question I am asked to answer is, why did you write this series? All right, why did you write this series? And I hope that I can motivate you enough to the reason. I think there can be many reasons. But basically, the 5 things I will share have relationship to each other, why I wrote this series. You know, life is a journey. Life is a journey. And in this journey, that is the way I see it. I always describe it as I have a cabinet that has many files in my life journey. I'm not talking about physical cabinet, but a cabinet somewhere where there are files, and these files contain different experiences that I go through. All right, and these experiences are meant to help me work successfully in this journey. Many times, many of us do not file those experiences. And one of the disadvantages is that you repeat the same experiences and you repeat the same actions. And so there is no growth you have. So this series, first of all, came from such reflections. So the first thing, or the first motivation for writing this series is it has come from ASFI, actually. The idea to write this series has come from ASFI, and it's as a result of deep meditation on the work I do within the ASFI work. And I have to say this, that in my career of the last 20 years, working with ASFI during the last 5, getting to 6 years now, has been the most transformative or transformational part of my career. I've been touched, I've been rebaptized in my experience, because there are some first-hand encounters and exposures I have gained coming together, leading a platform that brings African scientists together. All right. So I have mentored many. I think in their thousands, I have taught in the thousands of African scientists. Individuals, I've encountered individuals, I have encountered groups. I've had series of workshops on research, career development. I've spent at least 1,000 hours during the last 5 years to teach people, build capacity of scientists. I've had, in my own counting, more than 3,000 hours of meetings, various meetings, activities going on. And in these encounters, I have seen success. I've seen people with passion, people with ambition. I've seen mediocrity. I've also seen failure. I've also seen disappointment written on the faces of people. And that has really made me to think deeper. How do I embrace this? How do I offer solution to some? I can offer solution. And this series came from that reflection. So that's why I said it's a seedbed of ASFI. The second thing is that ASFI itself is a product of KAIROS. In the 8 papers I've written, if you see, I have narrated some of my experiences. I left out ASFI as a product of KAIROS because I'm working on a book on this. So the book, hopefully by the end of the year, should be the KAIROS book on career development and nurturing. But ASFI is a product of KAIROS. And I tell you, to establish ASFI, at the time it came, I have already planned it 10 years before. And I made efforts, but it didn't work out. So I left it for several years. By the time it came, I see it as being a movement whose time was ripe, whose time had come. And that is why it is what it is today. So there has been a convergence of the right moment, vision, and readiness. But you hear more about that when the book is out. Then you can read what transpired behind the scenes. So because of that, SFI is itself a product of KAIROS. And then my own career, my goodness, as I said, my cabinets are full of many things. And so I see myself, even my students, anybody who comes to my office, close the door, they leave with some experiences from my files. Okay? Because in my career I've succeeded, I've failed, I've been frustrated, I've strategized in many ways and failed in my strategies. I've collaborated, I've published, I have cried, I have been joyful, I have grown, I've also stunted in certain areas. And in this embellic journey, one thing that I ask myself, what is the secret? What is the secret? Why do some people make it and some don't? And I've met very fantastic scholars, scientists, who put all the nuts and bolts, but eventually they remain where they are. And well, so I have gone through many years of trial and error reflection. And I have to tell you what I offer today. If I had been in a position in my career journey to receive these things, my goodness, well, I don't know where I will be. I think where I am today, perhaps I would have left there a long time ago. So this reflections in this series is as a result of these years of trial and error, trying to understand what makes a career work. And I tell you all, the role of timing perturbs me quite a lot. And I see many people missing out in that. Okay? Working in Chronos, I will come to that, but not knowing that there is a Kairos. All right. And then, of course, we have different things to build our career. Vision. You have to have a vision to build a career. You have to have ambition. All right. You have to have preparation. You have to have resilience. You have to have passion. All right. Relationships, collaborations, strategy, have hard skills, soft skills, networking. But I tell you, Kairos is a knot that ties all these career ingredients. All right? Is a knot. Without it, even the best preparation, even all these ingredients you have may remain unrealized. And that is why I say that you see some that do all the necessary writing. Sometimes we make noise. Social media is there, you make noise, you write all the things you write, you show yourself, but yet you find yourself still remaining where you are. All right. But Kairos is important because it's not that ties all this together. All right. The power of a Kairos-shaped career. And because I have lived in it, I have experienced it, I have seen what it does. All right. I had the motivation to tell others what if they are unaware or they take it lightly, they actually miss quite a lot. Okay? So Kairos is powerful. And there are few things in life that are as powerful as a Kairos-shaped career. All right? You may have a successful career, but when you are aware of Kairos and you seize the opportunity that Kairos offers, I tell you, the career moves from being successful to deeply meaningful and impactful. And that is what I feel myself. All right? And so I try to pen this down. And I am so delighted with what the Greeks have done with decent time. If you look at many of our cultures, we may not have this rich embodiment of time to see time, that it is not just one component. There are two components. Chronos. You know, when you do all the things, you sleep, you wake up, you prepare, you run to your office, you ride your bike, you develop skills, you learn, you plan, you strategize. But that is not all there is. The Greeks, we have to be thankful to them, making us aware that if you do all those and you are not vigilant, you are not discerning, you are not attentive, that there is a career, that opportune moment that comes, very subtle, and you require the tools to understand that this is your time. If you don't have that, then it's problematic. You may miss many opportunities without knowing. All right. So Chronos is a time we count, but Kairos is a time that counts. So it's 8 articles. 8 weeks we have gone through this, and the goal was each week publish these articles and we have this workshop. The final thing I presented in the paper is this framework, the SCGRI framework. Colleagues, I tell you that as you develop your career, you have to be very attentive to those subtle signals that change the trajectory of what we do. You have to be courageous to make decisions, even in the face of fear, because KAIROS is not the absence of fear. There is fear, but there is a courage that uplifts you to make a decision that changes the trajectory of your career. We have to be grateful for rewards because KAIROS brings rewards. You have to reflect for when you miss those opportunities. You have to reflect and use that to prepare. And of course, we need to be intentional in cultivating the conditions of KAIROS. Thank you very much. These are a few whys why I have penned down this paper, and I hope that today's reflection will help us to dig deeper into it. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Flo.
Wow. That's so exciting. Thank you so much, Prof. Nwaru, for those reflections. Colleagues, you can see some people are so successful. What is it that they do? Is it that they are able to discern their KAIROS moment while others are not able to? Thank you very much, Prof. Nwaru, for that insightful reflections. Now, allow me, colleagues, to look deeper into this series. And for us to do that, let us welcome two individuals, distinguished individuals who have read and reread this KAIROS series to offer us perspectives on the ideas explored in this series. Now, our two distinguished guests. The first one will take us through series 1 to 4. We look at the distinction between Chronos and Kairos, recognizing moments of opportunity, the courage required to act, and the long-term rewards of timely decisions. Colleagues, we have Professor Samson Wahoma, who will reflect on these emerging from the four papers. Now, Professor Wahoma is a professor of New Testament interpretation and applied theology at the Adventist University of Africa in Nairobi, Kenya. He earned his PhD in religious studies, that is in New Testament, from Femi Awolowo University in Nigeria, and he has authored more than 90 scholarly publications and over 70 conference papers internationally. What a distinguished scholar. Professor Nwoma, we are so proud of you. Colleagues, let's welcome Professor Nwahoma. The floor is yours, Prof.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good
Colleagues.
afternoon.
Okay. It's my privilege to be part of this series, and I'd like to thank Professor Bright Waro, whose journey with me is some 28 years now, and I'm grateful that I can identify with him. Very soon, we would have journeyed together for almost 30 years. And I'm so happy that we can again continue our journey. I have 10 minutes. In these 10 minutes, of course, as I've been introduced by the first two speakers and also himself, the author, We are reflecting on the art of career timing, a time and timing article series. And my assignment this afternoon is to focus on the first four. This presentation summarizes the first four papers from Professor Bright Nwaru, which explores how decisive moments shape professional trajectories. And central to the series is the concept of KAIROS, critical moments when preparation meets opportunity. Of course, that is quite explained in this in the first article. The paper explains how such moments can be recognized through discernment, seized through courage, and understood in terms of their risk and sacrifices, which focus on the second and the third. And of course, they are also demonstrated by responding to careers, how one can endure and eventually the reward that it comes in. But in this presentation, I'll briefly highlight the key ideas and insights from each of the first four papers. What I've done is to give 5 key concepts, also give what I consider 3 profound quotations from each of the articles, and then I leave you with what I also consider a summary statement from each of the 4 articles. So the first one, which is the first paper, is The Art of Timing, a Great Gift for Modern Careers. The 5 key concepts are 2 concepts of time. This paper distinguishes between chronos, which is the regular measurable time by hours, by day and by night, and of course, the chronos, the kairos, which is what we may consider opportunity or seasons. The second concept is preparing and timing matters in kairos. Career successes, as he also demonstrated in this paper here, are not just what starts immediately, but over time preparation, and careers also shape career turning points. The fourth key concept in this first paper is timing is crucial in academic decisions. And Professor Nwaru made it clear that it's very important to be very discerning, to know the right time to make the job applications, manuscript submission, grant proposals, which demonstrated from his own experiences in this article that I believe many of us have read. And of course, the fifth key concept is discernment. And this calls for wisdom, attentiveness, which also he has mentioned in his introduction, courage, and readiness. So these are the 5 key concepts that he addressed in the first paper. Then the 3 powerful quotes from the article, I try to paraphrase, career success is not determined solely by sustained efforts over time, but also by the ability to recognize and respond effectively to kairos moments. And of course, sometimes people live with regret because they're not able to properly discern this time and then act on them. The second quotation I consider very important, as I paraphrase from the article, is kairos represent a critical juncture at which sustained preparation encounters opportunity. So when we say when preparation encounters opportunity, then it becomes, and of course we act upon it, it becomes the kairos moment. And then of course the third point is that kairos is not luck or coincidence. It's the discernment in action. Sometimes we hear people say, I was lucky. I was lucky. Well, a bit of that may be there, but sometimes also, if there is no discernment and action, then that moment can pass. So these are 3 powerful quotations that I think I got from the first paper. And then one sentence takeaway from the first paper is successful careers are shaped not only by years of preparation, which is chronos, but by the wisdom to recognize and act on decisive moments of opportunity, which is kairos. So when preparations meet opportunity and we act on it, it becomes a kairos moment. The second paper, which is recognizing kairos, how to discern the right career moment. The 5 key concepts, there could be more, but I just limited myself to 5 on each of them, is that kairos is a career-defining moment. It's a career-defining moment. And the article explains that career-transforming opportunities are not random events, but recognizable moments when preparation, opportunity, and conviction align. And several times in these four first articles I read, these concepts are emphasized when preparation, opportunity, and conviction align. The second key concept in this second paper is the four signs of recognizing KAIROS, which I found very, very profound. The inner witness, which is a deep conviction, the inspiration to act, then the testimony or encouragement from others, and then alignment of skills and opportunity. So this was a very profound aspect of this second article. The third concept I glean also from this second article is preparation in KAIROS in Chronos enables KAIROS. I see if we are not well prepared, the author makes clear, then even when KAIROS comes, we may not be fitted for that. We may not be fitted for that, or ready even to act on it. The fourth concept in the second paper is KAIROS often appears ordinary. And he talked about the emails, especially where he is now, where he mentioned it was just an email, and sometimes, of course, casual conversations or small opportunities that require attentiveness to recognize their significance. And sometimes some of these things are ignored, and that is why he said they appear quite ordinary, because it is possible just to read them and then to dismiss them, or it's also possible to engage in that discussion and also dismiss them, or perhaps see this opportunity as too little and minute, and then we decide not to act on them. So he emphasized this very important point here. The fifth concept is courage is required to act on KAIROS. Courage is important to act in KAIROS. And again, the three powerful quotes I got from this second article is career-defining moments are rarely accidental. Rather, they are discernible through a set of recognizable signs. The second part of the quotation is the most powerful sign of KAIROS is the inner witness, a deep, unshakable conviction that this is mine or this is my time. I illustrated this also in this article when some perhaps would have thought he was not ripe enough to act, but he felt this is my time and this is when I need to act. The third powerful quote I got from this, as I paraphrase from this article, is that without action, KAIROS remains unrealized potential. Unrealized potential. Because sometimes also, like he demonstrated, we may not act only to realize that what we have failed to act or what we missed was actually an opportunity for us to demonstrate our potentials. The one takeaway sentence I got from this article is that career-defining opportunities are recognized through discernment and preparation, but they transform lives only when scholars respond with courage and decisive action. And I would say not just scholars, because this material is important and relevant, not just for those in academics, but even for everyone who has a career in his life. The third article is seasoned careers, the courage to act on career defining moments. Again, the 5 key concepts I gleaned from this, there could be more, as I said earlier on, but I limited myself to 5. First is a KAIROS moments, opportune moment. This refers to critical moments when preparation, opportunity, and purpose are aligned, creating a narrow window for decisive action. These moments are fragile and time-bound and can reshape a career. Fragile in the sense, as demonstrated also, is that they could easily slip away. And of course, they don't last for too long a time. The second concept is the courage as the enabling force. Courage as the enabling force. And then, of course, this is expanded later, which I will come to much later. Then the third concept is fragility of KAIROS opportunities. KAIROS movements are described as narrow, subtle, vulnerable to doubt and distractions, and often not repeatable. Narrow in the sense that they may just come, then subtle, they may slip away. Vulnerable to doubt and distractions, we may not be certain whether we can actually handle it or not. And then often not repeatable, such opportunity may not come again. The fourth concept in this third article is the 4 dimensions of courage, an area which was very profound to me. This article explains that acting on KAIROS requires 4 interconnected forms of courage. The first one he calls personal courage, overcoming self-doubt. He said when we are able to defeat our inner self that suggests to us that we don't have the ability or capacity to go forward. The relational courage, when we are willing to take actions that sometimes may fracture decisions, may fracture relationships, you see, or not waiting for others' affirmation. And then practical courage, navigating real life logistics and uncertainty, where he discusses the pains, the challenges, the sacrifice that may come, and of course, the spiritual or existential courage, trusting your inner conviction that this I'm able to accomplish if I give in everything or I put myself into it. The fifth concept is sacrifice as a necessary cost. Responding to KAIROS often requires giving up something valuable, and the article identifies 4 common sacrifices: comfort, approval, security, and control over time. Of course, when you read the article, you can see how he expanded on this. But comfort, because we must be willing sometimes to give up what seems to be very comfortable. Then approval, when we don't wait for others to affirm us before we move. Security, when we are willing to take a risk to move forward, not knowing the future. And then control over time, when we allow time also to shape our decisions. These sacrifices are presented as investments in long-term growth. The 3 powerful quotes again I got on courage and action. Careers are not reshaped by insight alone, but by courageous response to the right moment at the right time. The third quotation is on courage and uncertainty. Courage is not the elimination of uncertainty, but the capacity to act faithfully in His presence. And then the third quotation, again I paraphrase from this article, is KAIROS rewards those who are willing to act decisively within a narrow window, trusting that the cost of hesitation may exceed the risk of boldness. The one takeaway sentence is life-changing opportunities, that is KAIROS, only transform a career when they are recognized and seized with courage, even in the presence of uncertainty and sacrifice. The last article which I read, which I was assigned to me, of course, which is the 4th one, is the reward of KAIROS, living the benefits of recognizing and seizing career-defining moments. Just like I did in the last 3, I also came up with 5 concepts, key concepts here. The first one is KAIROS moments produce long-term rewards. And then, of course, he gives the rewards, first of all, is stability and security as early rewards. Of course, this was his experience when he applied for his PhD funding, just 9 months into study. And of course, he explained how this actually shaped not just his PhD, giving him that security, but eventually giving him also the boldness and the courage to move forward subsequently. Then exposure to global opportunities, which of course, in his experiences in Edinburgh, in Finland, how he moved, and of course where he is now in Sweden. You see, these platforms gave opportunity for what? For exposure, for network, to again shaping his methodology. And then this article illustrates this through international postdoctoral experiences that broaden intellectual horizons and collaborations. And then the fourth concept is alignment between career and personal life. Another important concept is life alignment. Career decisions can restore balance between professional ambition and personal well-being, demonstrating that meaningful success integrates career, family, and personal values. And this is experience illustrated in the book when he had to leave where he was doing his first postdoc and then back again to Finland to join his family. So again, that is also very important. And I think that's also very, 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 very insightful, where success is an integrated whole. You see, not just career, but family and also personal value. Then the last concept is the deepest reward of KAIROS is personal transformation.
2 more
which
minutes,
of course
Prof.
he used the concept curriculum. So the last three, the quotations is on the long-term impact of KAIROS, and then on the nature of KAIROS rewards, and on the deepest rewards of KAIROS. So I just want to go like when career opportunities are recognized and seized at the right moment, they produce cumulative rewards that transform not only professional success, but also personal identity and purpose. So reflecting on more than 3 decades of professional experience, beginning in Port Harcourt, speaking of myself now, where I served for about 3 years in pastoral ministry, continuing through 16 years at Babcock University, Nigeria, as a clergy, an academic and administrator. I'm now nearly 13 years at my current place of work as an academic, also professor. I find that my own experiences closely echo the profound insights and lived realities described by Professor Bright Wario, who observes that successful careers are shaped not only by years of preparation, but the career moment. Career-defining moments are recognized through discernment and preparation. Life-changing opportunities only transform career when they are acted upon. And then finally, when career opportunities are recognized and seized at the right moment. I believe that we're going to have a very insightful discussion subsequently when we go to the breakout session after the second presentation has been made. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Prof. Wahoma. Please let's clap for Prof. That is very insightful reflection. Do we have the courage to act? Thank you very much. Now let's go to our next part of the reflection. We have our own distinguished professor, Professor Miriam Ayafol, who obtained a BA from the University of Yaoundé, an MA from the University of Linz, and a PhD from the University of Ulster. She has served as a professor of English at the University of Yaoundé until Professor retired in 2023. Now, Professor Miriam is going to take us through the next remaining series 5 to 8, where we will focus on the cost of missed KAIROS, the conditions of KAIROS, the continuity of KAIROS, and the living a KAIROS-shaped career. Please help me welcome Professor Miriam. Let's clap for her. Professor Miriam, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning if you are in the place where I am.
Good afternoon.
And I'm happy to say that I'm delighted to be part of this Zoom conference today. The last 4 papers of this series talk about what happens when KAIROS moments are missed or nearly missed because of delays or hesitations. They discuss conditions that make KAIROS moments visible, credible, and actionable in academic and professional careers, and reframe KAIROS as a continuous ecology rather than an episodic milestone where new opportunities are not the end in themselves, but the beginning of new journeys. KAIROS seizing thus becomes a continuous practice, culminating in a lifestyle of perpetual readiness for future opportunities. This series is extremely enriching, according to me, especially for young researchers, career beginners, or people midway into their professions. I wish I had known such truths when I started my own career 40 and more years ago. Nevertheless, while reading through these papers, I realized that I had KAIROS moments in my life and seized some of them naturally, even without the present knowledge. The exercises at the end of these chapters too are particularly useful. They cause the readers to think and to apply the lessons learned from the series to themselves. This is good and dragogy. While I read through the papers, I thought of the Greek logos and rhema. Concerning the Bible, logos is the written word, while rhema is the revealed word. That means when you read the Bible, you can have a textual comprehension of it, just like you can comprehend any written text. But there are times when some verses just stick out with new meanings. For example, someone who desperately needs an answer from God about something. While reading the Bible, the same Bible text he or she has read many times before suddenly reveals a meaning as if it is the first time the words are being seen. The understanding of what God is saying becomes clear in a specific and new way. That is rhema. The reader has just received a rhema from the logos. KAIROS moments are like rhema. Something that seems ordinary becomes very special to you, and you must seize it. I particularly understood the first cause of missed KAIROS, which is fear of failure or of judgment from people, because it could have happened to me, but the inner voice in me was too strong and I did not silence it. Fear is a destroyer of ambitions. When you fear to take risks, you become handicapped. I had several occasions in my life when I refused to fear and instead took risks. I had taken the risk to drop a primary school teaching career completely, though certified, and go to a general education high school. I had taken the risk to reject a successful entrance into a higher teacher training college where I was to be receiving monthly advance salary to go to the Faculty of Arts in Yaoundé University. One of the consequences of my choices was that I went through degree programs faster than I would have done had I chosen differently. When you start your professional life trusting other people to make important decisions for you, you will end up being dependent on people all the time, all your life. That's not good. What then is your personality? Who are you? You need to develop trust in yourself. I don't mean that you should be too proud to ask for help when you need it. No. But try being confident in yourself sometimes, somehow. Be courageous. Know what you want and go for it. Missed KAIROS moments could cause you to lose important and useful human relationships and academic opportunities. KAIROS moments would not be useful to anyone who has not been prepared for it through persistence in continuous hard work. If you have not been studying, carrying out research and publishing, teaching, and collaborating with your boss and colleagues, in the case of a university teaching career, for example, when a KAIROS moment appears, you may not be ready for it. Worse, you may not be informed about it, whereas colleagues are, but may not tell you because of your very poor relationship with them. Ordinary things in life, like being friendly and kind to people, may turn out to be very useful to you someday. That's how I met a senior lecturer from the University of Sussex in my department in Yaoundé. My readiness for work on Cameroon Pidgin English with her was crucial. So collaboration started with us and we built a team. Funding was obtained, and the result of that collaboration was a 240,000 word corpus from 40 text categories of spoken Cameroon Pidgin English, which is found in the Oxford University archives today. Later, Melanie and I wrote a book on Cameroon Pidgin English grammar from the same material. I was aligned for this opportunity because Pidgin and Creole studies had been one of my domains of research interest, and I already had 3 publications in that domain. Chronos preparation and alignment converged for me. KAIROS is an ongoing rhythm that, rather than a terminal breakthrough. Hence, every destination is also a beginning. When a secondary school teacher with a bachelor's in English studies seizes an opportunity to go study abroad for a master's in modern English language, how can that master's be an end in itself? Should the person concerned not do something more or better with this new qualification? Institutional timing was in my favor when I came back from England with my master's, and I got a part-time teaching job in a newly created state university, which later became a full-time job. But a terminal degree in 3 years was a condition to stay in the job. Therefore, studying had to continue. Do you see how one achievement is not the end? It instead starts a new journey. That's the continuity of KAIROS. No stopping. One success leads to the next. You don't look for it, it comes. Tragedy struck my family at this time and left me with a lot of responsibilities. I needed to go out of my country for a doctorate if I had to finish it in 3 years, so that I could concentrate and do the work and not be distracted by family and home responsibilities. Being able to go to Northern Ireland for a PhD was a result of good relationship with my former research supervisor, the supervisor for my master's dissertation. So, courage, preparation through chronological hard work, good relationship, and alignment opened KAIROS doors for me. That's how a KAIROS life is, I now understand. You need to be broader in your view of timing, readiness, choice, and consequences. Think out of the box, and a successful KAIROS life will be yours. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Let's clap for Prof. Miriam for that insightful reflections. Wow. Be courageous, know what you want, and go for it. Thank you very much, Prof. Miriam, for that. Now, colleagues, let's go to the next section where we want now to hear from ourselves, members of this workshop who have been also reading this series, to hear your insight, reflections, inspiration after you've read these 8 series. Now, we have 5 of us, contributors, who will be reflecting on this series, and each one of them will have 2 minutes to give us a highlight, a reflection, an inspiration, or a lesson they have learned from the series. Our first speaker is Dr. Kezia. Please, let's welcome Dr. Kezia.
Hello, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I would like to also thank Professor Maru for the KAIROS that has been very interesting. And what are the reflections? Within these 2 minutes, what I can say is that KAIROS are opportunities available for us to recognize and seize in order to reap the rewards. However, multiple KAIROS require a holistic approach in discernment so that opportunities are not missed to avoid regrets. Thank you very much. And that is the reflection from Dr. Kezia Nkwizu. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kezia, for that. For multiple KAIROS, we need reflections. Our next reflector is Dr. Shireen. Dr. Shireen, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. You are hearing me well?
Yes,
Hello.
go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
thank you. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to share our reflections. One idea from this series that really stayed with me is the difference between Chronos and the KAIROS. So Chronos is the everyday time we spend working, learning, and gaining experience, while KAIROS is different, that this is the right moment when preparation meets opportunities. What surprised me most is the idea that these important career moments do not always appear in dramatic way. Often they came quietly through conversation, collaboration, or even unexpected invitations. Recognize them, it really requires awareness, reflections, and encouragement. At the community physicians, this resonates strongly with my career, actually. Most of our works happens gradually with working with the communities, strengthening the health programs, and collaborating with many partners. So this every efforts represent our chronos. But occasionally we have a moment when there is an opportunity to lead a new initiative, new programs, or even contribute to the new policies that can improve our people's lives. This is our KAIROS. One important lesson I take from this series is that our role is not to work hard, but also to stay ready and attentive, because these moments may appear. So we need to recognize and act. So preparation help us to be ready. Relationship help us to seize opportunities, and encourage help us to move forward. Moving ahead, I hope I continue developing my leadership, collaboration, and strategic thinking. Finally, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the author of the series, Prof. Pride, who generously shared his experience and insights with us. This reflection provides a powerful guide for becoming more aware of our self and career and how we grow as a professionals. I truly believe this wisdom shared in this series can help many of us gain the kind of self-awareness and otherwise that may otherwise can take even years to develop on our own. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shireen, for that reflection. No dramatic way, quiet event, ordinary event. Thank you very much. Our next reader is Dr. Maisa. Dr. Maisa, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good day. I want to share a short reflection inspired by Prof. Bytes series Career Navigator for this year. One idea that stayed with me is the difference between Chronos and Kairos. Chronos represents the time of growth, the years we spent studying and gradually building our knowledge and skills. It reflects patience, effort, and continuous learning. But the series also highlights Kairos, the right moment, when our growth and readiness meet an opportunity, and we must decide whether to act. When I reflect on my journey, I can see these moments. One example is my journey from Sudan to Turkey and later to Europe, and to pursue my PhD studies. It was not an easy decision to take this decision, but it was a moment when opportunity appeared. And I decided to take the opportunity at that time. Another meaningful step was joining this ASFI, African Science Frontiers Initiatives, which opened new opportunities for collaboration and learning with other African researchers. And really, that was my second Kairos moment. For me, the key lesson is simple. Keep growing, stay open to opportunities, and have the courage to act when the right moment comes. Because Kairos is not luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Maisa, for that reflection. Right moment. You need to recognize the right moment. You don't want to miss them. Thank you very much. Our next reader is Mrs. Uche.
Thank you so much, Professor Bright. So some of the key insights I got from the KAIROS series, the difference between right timing and right moment. So you could understand the timing is right, but not being able to do what you need to do in order to engage the timing that is before you is important. And then in terms of right choices and what do you really mean by right choices? So it's something that resonates with your dream and your vision. And then for the insights again, I was wondering, why didn't this service come earlier? Why is it coming now? You know, and it's really, I'm happy, I'm not happy about it, but somehow happy that it eventually came, because if it had come earlier, maybe some of the missed opportunities that I have had in my career experience in terms of because of immaturity, because of pride and environmental circumstances, especially as a woman, maybe I would have been able to navigate it better. But I'm happy that the KAIROS themes are coming up now, and based on my current experience, looking at how faith plays a big role, how, you know, you require a lot of energy, quality energy, beyond quality time, quality energy to be able to make something out of it. And when you know about KAIROS, it propels you, it keeps pushing you, you don't want to stop. And because we say KAIROS doesn't end, for me, I still believe that it's unfolding. And where I am now, knowing this, I'm going to open my eyes. I mean, open my eyes to see, not just see, act on what I have seen in order to make sure that I get the best out of the moments that I have now. And then what is the future saying again for me? You talked about gratitude. It's just for you, but it's for the entire people, the entire environment that is around you. And I need to look up to others who have done something very good with understanding KAIROS. And that is Professor Wao, that is facing me, the mirror that I'm looking at to see how he has evolved with KAIROS over time and succeeded. So thank you so much.
Wow, Mrs. Uche, right timing and right moment. Why couldn't this series have come earlier? Maybe some of the opportunities we have missed probably may not have been missed. Our last reader is Madam Marion. Madam Marion, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Flora. And good afternoon, everyone from Kenya. Now, the insights that I gained from reading Professor Nwaru's Career Navigator, one of them is that I should act on KAIROS moments when I feel inspired and convicted. And the surprising idea that dawned on me is that some KAIROS are directly linked to my calling or to the purpose for which God created me. All the themes in the KAIROS series resonated with me, especially the theme of recognizing KAIROS through discernment and seizing KAIROS by acting courageously. The lessons I'm carrying forward are: 1, time waits for no man, and so I need to act decisively. I also learned that I need to listen to my inner voice, that witness within me. I also learned that KAIROS moments are a gift from God, but I am responsible for what I do with them. I also learned that opportunities travel through people. Therefore, I will up my game in networking, collaborating, publishing, being mentored, and mentoring others. I also learned that I should persist in Chronos because preparation is long-term. While I'm doing these things at the time when I've learned about Chronos, which is now at my age, I'd encourage all the young people and young researchers in age to please take the wisdom that Professor Nwaru has shared with us and run with it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marion, for that. Listen to your inner voice and know KAIROS are from God. What you do with them is up to you. Thank you very much. Now, I encourage all of us, even as we continue with the workshop, listening to insightful reflections, that we also think about it. let's reflect about these KAIROS. Let's reflect about the Chronos. Think about the series and how it can impact your life. If you haven't read, please, this is an opportunity to go and read. Don't miss the goodness that we are all experiencing. Now, allow me to introduce the next part of our workshop, and this is the exciting part. I know we have had all these reflections, questions have arisen in our mind, and now we are going to break into breakout groups. We will have several breakout groups. You will be assigned randomly into a group, and within those groups, let's reflect on the series. And there are two guiding questions which will help us with the reflections. The first one, please, if you can, note down the first question, which will guide us in our reflection in our breakout groups, is what are key takeaways from the KAIROS series? What are key takeaways from the KAIROS series? You don't have a lot of time, so just concentrate on one or two key takeaways. The second guiding question is, how has the series influenced or challenged you thinking about career decisions and opportunities? How has the series influenced or challenged you thinking about career decisions and opportunities? Please, once you get into the group, you will be assigned to choose one rapporteur who will summarize your discussion. And when we return back to the main session, we will have 2 minutes per group to report back. Thank you. Join your breakout group. Those who have not yet. Join a breakout group.
Yes, the rooms are open, so you can join. I think Dr. Flora, they have 20 minutes each.
Yes, sorry, I forgot to say you have 20 minutes for the session, for the breakout.
Thank you.
Wow, welcome back from your breakaway sessions. We are looking forward to your key takeaways and also how the series has impacted you or influenced you or even challenged your thinking about your career decisions. So we will call out rapporteurs or representatives of each group. We had 5 groups and each will have 2 minutes. Let's start with group 1. Group 1 representative, if you could raise your hand, you'll be unmuted. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Flora, and thank you to my colleagues in Group 1. The key reflections, the foremost that kept coming up was that preparation was very key. Right from all the notes from the series and the synthesis offered in this discussion, there was the key reflections that colleagues shared was around intentionality and preparation. It's also much holistic. It does not stick to one component of your life, whether career or relationships. Everything affects everything else. As one of the colleagues in the room, Abisoye, had shared, it also made her realize that she needs to pay more attention to the relationships she has, maximize the value she offers, and also maximize the benefits. Others also shared around why vigilance and attentiveness for KAIROS moments are crucial to see the door. Courage and actions are key keys necessary to open it. That was the way someone painted it. Another added that while you wait for yourself to be perfect and self-doubt, don't allow yourself to be caged from achieving excellence. Lastly, in the other component that speaks mostly to how it affects careers or how it could affect career, we're fortunate to have a senior colleague share from her past experience, not even for the future, how this has transformed her career and transformed her life. And she shared, I think the key takeaway from that was that you need to also think about how your decisions affect other things, but also think most about how it affects the opportunity for you to leapfrog and move in the next right direction, and not to be delayed in taking the next bold step. I think I'll summarize it to say that for me and for others in my room, we have identified the value to not only pay attention to the time, but also the timing. I think that's what the sync from Chronos to Kairos tries to communicate. And while being at that, you prepare well, you leverage your relationships, you offer the value so that you get value, and ensure that you take the right decision. And there's never a right time to do the wrong thing, or there's never a wrong time to do the right thing, kind of way. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share. I don't know if any of my colleagues feel that there's anything to add.
Thank you, Abdullah, for representing Group 1. I guess we can continue discussing on the chat. Kindly, let's clap for him. Group 2, we've had preparation is key and pay attention to time and timing. Group 2, we are looking forward to your key takeaways. Elizabeth, we have Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So for Group 2, when we met, a number of takeaways or reflections actually came up. The first thing we thought about is overcoming fear. We realized that based on the discussions on KAIROS series, we noticed that fear hinders us from reaching a lot of goals. When you go into something with fear, you question yourself and you're unable to reach any particular goal that you set. And so there is the need for us to overcome any kind of fear that we may encounter. We also looked at being hardworking enough. If we are hardworking, whatever we set ahead of ourselves, we are going to be determined enough to solve or to do whatever it is. If you are not hardworking and you keep giving excuses, you might not be able to reach any goal that you set. We are also looking at being able to socialize. We should build on collaboration and then networking, because we realize that people help people. And so if you don't build on your sociability and then your networking, when there are opportunities, you will not get people opening those doors for you to enter. And so it's very important to us that we look at how we can build our social network and connections. We also look at being self-aware. If you know who you are, you know your limitations, you know the things you can do and the things you cannot do. And as a result, you find ways and means to overcome the ones that you are not so good at and be better at it. We also talked about showing appreciation, that it is very important that whatever opportunity is given us, whatever chance that we get, we show appreciation to the people that opened the door for us, so that those people will realize that we are grateful people, and anytime there are opportunities, they can come to our aid. And finally, being time conscious. If you are able to work within time all the time, people know that they can trust you with a particular job and it can be done. It will also help you to work within time and to build whatever goal that you have set ahead ourselves. So in conclusion, we believe that a lot has been learned from this particular series, and we are grateful to the team for making this possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for presenting Group 2. Be courageous, do not be fearful, and ensure you hard work, because if you are not working hard, there's no preparation. Let's have Group 3. Please raise your hand. Representative for Group 3.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Actually, in Group 3, we have very fruitful discussions. Most of the members, they reflect on the series from their own experience and how they discover themselves through reading that series of KAIROS. So the summary of that discussion is number one is to take actions. We need to take action. Most of us are well prepared, but we need to take action and go through and take the moment, the really timing moment of the KAIROS. And also, we conclude about we discuss about the loyalty. So we have many loyalty to many things like works, the people, mentor, but we think that loyalty to the things should not challenge you to take your careers, your own moment to develop your own career and be a professional. So also you should pay attention for the external influences that may challenge you to see the careers that your time. So be aware of that external challenges and take the risk and encourage yourself and take your moment. So also you should be self-aware about how to develop like a sense of developing and identifying the careers, the right time for identifying that opportunity. So keep learning and searching for that opportunity to shine and to be a professional. So at the end, we will keep learning, we will keep exploring, and we will prepare ourselves and have a good network to meet that opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Shireen, for representing Group 3. Take action and learn how to recognize the KAIROS. Group 4, please. Group 4. Representative for Group 4. Uche?
Okay. All right. So for Group 4, a lot of the things we wrote down had been said, but let me add one interesting takeaway is the work-life balance. So especially for the female gender, where you have to play the role of a mother, you have to play the role of a researcher, a university staff, or whether you're in the industry. So understanding the work-life balance, implementing the work-life balance, and also taking into your conscious mode of the KAIROS moment alongside all of these triple, responsibilities that one usually has, especially as a female gender. So this is one of the things we've said about our key takeaways. And then the other second one I will add also from our group is about being courageous. So one of us mentioned that when you talk about courage, is even the ability to confront other challenges amidst the KAIROS moment that is facing you. Okay, so you may have the courage to apply, you may have the courage to do the grant applications and all of that, but there are other challenges that you necessarily need to overcome, even if you get those grants. So this something that we really talked about. And then the other question was, how has the KAIROS series challenged your decision in your career pathway? And 3 things came out from our discussion. Overthinking. So when we keep thinking and thinking and overthinking a process and time is going. So we should learn also as experts, as professionals, not to overthink certain opportunities that come our way and just take it immediately. And then the other one was somebody mentioning that, yes, the KAIROS women have told me that this is where I am. I'm happy and I think I've taken the right decision. Somebody added that, yes, even though you have the KAIROS service have told you that you've taken the right decisions in your career, but that is not the end. Okay, that is not the end. And then finally, one of us also mentioned the issue that the KAIROS women have brought the idea that where she should have been 10 years ago is where she is now. So this is something that she also needs to resonate and go back and work on it and see if something better can come out of it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Uchi, for representing Group 4, work-life balance. And there will be some challenges which will stop you from seizing your kairos, overcome them. The last group 5, Limpli.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. Yes, in our group, we had a cocktail of researchers. What I mean here is that we had people joining the movement for the first time, but what we gathered, it was quite fruitful because people were saying that we need to gather courage, okay, to take the opportunity by, you by all means, you move away from the comfort zone and you try to ditch fear so that you seize that opportunity. And also you need also to rely on God and also to move away from fear, optimize opportunities, be hardworking, also remove fear. Fear, when you experience fear, it means that you tend to rely on people's validation. So you need to ditch all that and concentrate on what we are doing and make sure that we are seizing the opportunities. Your timing also should be realigned, otherwise you'll be left behind. And then on the second question, people were saying that before they read this or before they were, they were exposed to these kairos, they were overwhelmed with work. They didn't know how to manage. But now, reading, now they are dealing with it. They are taking the bull by this horn, meaning that they seizing the moment, trying to remove the fear. Whenever a great idea or any idea comes, they try to take it right away. So you need also to relate to people. And then someone says you need not to over-celebrate, because when you over-celebrate, then stagnation will come into play. So while you are celebrating, try to take it as another stepping stone, because you need not to lose your attention. You need to be attentive, know how to discern, and also try to relate. So people were saying, the fruits of networking, we have found friends, we have people who are encouraging and trying to boost our publication. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Limkli, for representing group 5. And we need to gather courage. We need to overcome our fear. We need alignment, and above all, cooperation, partnerships. We need friends to work with. Thank you all for your insightful reflections. Thank you to all the groups, group 1 to 5. It is being thought-provoking. From all your presentation, we learned that there are recurring themes about preparedness, courage, discernment, and the importance of recognizing opportunity when it appears. So all these ideas echo the central message of the KAIROS series, that while we cannot control every circumstance that come our way, we can actually cultivate the awareness and the readiness that allow us to respond wisely when critical moments arise. And so a meaningful career from all our 5 presentations is very clear, is built when preparation, awareness, and courage meet the right moment. And now, to help us bring all these insights together, I would like to invite our own Dr. Eman Sop to synthesize the key ideas that have emerged from our discussions and reflect how they can guide future career decisions. Please help me welcome Dr. Eman. Dr. Eman, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I would like to thank Prof. Bright for bringing this fruitful discussion and this series for discussion, because every one of us feels he was there in each moment of the series. From the discussions, from the speakers and participants, I see that most people mention preparation as a key message taken from the series, and we should be prepared for the KAIROS. I want to just highlight that it is a KAIROS. We don't need waiting for KAIROS, but we should be prepared and learn how to recognize KAIROS, because they may look ordinary, as Prof. Bright said. So just learn how to recognize them. Also, most participants mentioned networking and collaboration as a key point, and I would like to take highlight from what I see in the series, that Prof. Bright mentioned that collaboration, a choice of people to collaborate with, is not dependent on the CVs. You don't need to choose those with best CVs, but you need to choose people who fit your skills, your goals, your personality, and different items. So this is a good point to take into consideration when making collaboration. One of key insight also is how to seize KAIROS with courage and fighting fears. And also we need to take opinion of others, yes, but don't make them let you down. Feel your instincts and your own inner witness, and trust this. If you feel this is a good opportunity for you, if you feel this is your KAIROS, so go for it and take the moment to do so. Is the aim of the series and this workshop is not to regret what we have missed. Yes, we see ourselves there some point, but this is an opportunity to look forward for future and see how to recognize future KAIROS points for us, and also to work for it, and to fight our fears and have courage to take the moment. If anyone want to, for example, change their career, or they have something to do, go for it, and trust your inner witness. What is most important is this KAIROS highlights that ASFI is a KAIROS point for each one. There are several opportunities for each one. Just recognize them and go for them. And the commitment and the identification of your skills and your opportunities, also knowing your challenges, put it all together and fight to achieve your goals, and also to be a new member, a new one. After reading this series, you should know you are a new one. I know and identified every point in yourself as a challenge or opportunity. Fight your fears and find your courage to work on this. Thank you, everyone, and looking forward to see you in different workshops of the series and also various ASFI activities.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ehrman. You've put the synthesis so well. You've joined it together, and we are very happy for that. Colleagues, as we begin to look forward, the ideas that have been explored in this series, which will soon be expanded into a KAIROS book. please help me welcome our own mentor who has really helped us, who has written this KAIROS series and helped us be where we are today. Help me welcome Prof. Nwaru, who will briefly introduce the upcoming publication and share the ideas on how the series will continue to evolve. Please let's clap for Prof. Nwaru.
All right,
Prof.
thank
Nwaru,
you very
the floor
much.
is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Namu, for the fantastic work you have done this far. Colleagues, really, what we have in the 8 articles is part of the big picture. As I mentioned, the ASFI story is not there. And due to limit in writing journal articles, some things are not there. So I promise you, there are many things that will come. This was originally planned as a book and is coming up as a book. So I will go back to the drawing board and find time to finish it up. Well, we are here more than 80 persons now. I think we're close to 100, if not more, before. But you are all ambassadors for the idea here, because one of the things I hear you say, some of you, had I known these things before now, perhaps it would have helped me quite a lot. Anyway, so you need to find a way to spread the news, share it with your colleagues. So a book is coming. I think that is the main thing. And the second thing is, well, there are a lot of things in this series. Whether this will be the last workshop on it, I'm not sure, but perhaps I will come back to that. We may have another workshop. But I'm also happy with the ASFI General Assembly Journal Club team. They have continued to discuss these things in the Journal Club. And I encourage you, even within your institutions, within your research groups, within your departments, you can find a time to think about it, deliberate on this issue as well. Right, so the book is coming, and hopefully towards the end of the year we can get it out. And then I will take the next item, Dr. Namu, so that you can invite Dr. Jibola to make the announcement there. What is ahead? The Professional Career Navigator, I promised that we'll have different series this year. So the next series is The Beauty of Rejection and Failure in Career. The Beauty of Rejection and Failure in Career. So it's coming up. When it will start, I'm not sure. I can't tell you that now because we'll have many things in our hand. And of course, to help you to digest the KAIROS series. So we'll be entering another important aspect of building the career. Many of us have cried. Many of us have felt like giving up. Some of us have had depression because of these things. But as the subtitle says, every setback is a setup for a stronger comeback. So we'll look at the beauty that rejection and failure bring to the career landscape in the next series. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof, for this. We are so excited and looking forward to this book, The Art of Career Time and Timing. It will help many of us. From the reflections on the series, we can already see how we wish the series came out earlier. And now with the book, it will be such an helpful guide to many of us. We are also thankful there's a new series on the Career Navigator, the beauty of rejection and failure in career. Every setback is a step for a stronger comeback. I can't wait for this new series. With that, thank you. Let's clap for Prof. Nwaru. Now, let's take our next step as we come towards the end of this exciting workshop. We have 2 more activities, and please kindly help me welcome Dr. Ajipora, who will have some announcements on ASFI. Dr. Ajipora, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Namu, for that beautiful welcome. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Ajibolo Oladejo, and I'm the ASFI Director of Administration. So here are some quick announcements for us all. So the first on the list here is ASFI courses. So we have 2 ASFI courses, and they are open for application. We have the Art of Scientific Writing and Publishing, and the deadline is tomorrow. So please, I would really encourage us to please apply. Mrs. Jane would be helping to post the links to most of this registration in the chat box. Then we also have research funding and writing course. The deadline is 9th of May. And of course, we all need to do excellent research. And what is excellent research without money? So please, if you really love to up your skills in winning grants, then this course is for you. So next on our next is the ASFI Tea Time, and this is where we connect, we create, and celebrate as ASFI members. This is ASFI General Assembly-led program, and the next edition, we've been having several editions, and the next edition will be coming on the 6th, the next edition, which is the 6th edition, will be coming on the 27th of March, and the time is 10 a.m. GMT. So the registration link will also be posted on the chat box, and the theme is impactful research and the nexus between market and communities for sustainable African growth. And we have 2 key panelists who will be talking to this major theme. So please register, join us in the discussion, and of course, come with your cup of tea because we'll be taking a snapshot. Yeah. Okay, sorry. So next on our announcement is the ASFI Journal Club. As Professor Bright has mentioned here, the next edition will be looking at a reflective discussion on career defining moments and key KAIROS content. So this is where the KAIROS discussion continues. And of course, I want to encourage all members of ASFI to please join in and come to enrich the discussion. And the date of the next edition is Monday, 30th of March, and that is at 4 p.m. GMT. Okay, so next on an announcement list is to the 5 to 10 program candidates and also the mentee pass. So we'll be having the first quarter progress and alignment meeting. So emails have been sent to this. So this is just a kind reminder. So this quarterly progress meeting will be coming up on Monday, 23rd of March, 2026, and it is at 4 p.m. GMT. So please, this is so important for all 5 to 10 program candidates and all mentee pass. Please ensure that you attend. And of course, our own ASFRJ, that's the ASFR Research Journal, and is open for continuous manuscript submission and publishing. And we accept all types of papers, and it would be good to also browse through our website and see the different categories of papers and also the various guidelines in ensuring that your papers get published. So please, the link will be shared in our chat box for us to exploit the website and see the other information about the journal in there. And of course, this one, I'm so excited about it. And this is to celebrate our women, the ASFI women, because we believe that women should be celebrated every day, not just on a specific carved out day. So please, all ASFI women, you are worth it and we want to celebrate you. So how do we do this? We are going to be sharing a prompt very soon. This is an example. This is Dr. Iman Soka. You can see how beautiful and professional she looks. So we'll be sharing this very soon to all ASFI women. And we want you to use this prompt to generate something like this in your professional attire. And this is really like the theme is to create a portrait of a confident African woman scientist in a lab or as a professional, right? So this is just to really celebrate all ASFI women, right? So the last announcement here is, I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, if there are some of you here who are not yet members of ASFI, I honestly do not know what you are waiting for, because your seat at the African scientific table is waiting. And what are the benefits of you being a member? You have tailored trainings and capacity building programs, mentorship opportunities. You have a platform to mentor others and also to be mentored. And of course, you have a Pan-African network of researchers and professionals. And then another juicy aspect of you being a member is that you have discount on most of the courses and on most of our programs. And then you have access to research activities and the ASFI Excellence Award. So please be part of a network that is raising the next generation of African scientists. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Nam.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Ajipra, for the announcement. Please, colleagues, let's take note of the communication from Ajipra and let's take action where it's required. Thank you, too, for celebrating the women. Thank you. Now let's move to the next section, colleagues. It's been a great 2 hours of enriching our minds and career trajectory. Careers unfold not only through time and effort, but through the moments when preparation meets opportunity and we choose to act. To take us to the last part of this workshop, I would like to invite Professor Nwaru to offer closing remarks and express appreciation to all participants, speakers, and organizers. Colleagues, I would like to thank all of you for your active engagement and thoughtful reflection during this session. I have enjoyed being your moderator. Thank you.
All right, colleagues, thank you very much. I think we have had a very fantastic 2 hours. I have to say that 2 hours not enough to digest what we have here, but I think we have been able to do justice to it, listened, participated, interacted, share our viewpoints. But let the conversation continue as we end here. As I mentioned, you can form nucleus of researchers around you to think about these issues. So that we can continue to propagate it. The feedback I have received from this series has really surprised me, that we are all in the same boat struggling. So please share with others so that they can benefit. Yes, I just want to use this opportunity to thank those who have made this day fruitful. It's not easy to read through these papers, but I think one thing is that if you start them, you don't want to stop before finishing them. So I just want to thank Professor Samson Warmer. He has been a teacher, lecturer, mentor, and also personal friend for many years to accept this invitation and finding this fruitful to be part of this. Prof, thank you very much. I would like to thank also Professor Miriam Ayafo and Dr. Eunice Fombele, who recommended her when I was looking for I was looking for a mother. I told her it must be a woman, advanced in age. And then she came with this fantastic name. Prof. Ayafo, I've not met you before, but the way you made your own review showed that you have been in the game for a long time. So I am really grateful for sparing your time and then, of course, waking you up very early where you are. I appreciate the sacrifice you have made in this. And then Dr. Flora Namu, who has really fantastically moderated this session. Thank you for the opportunity. And of course, I have to say that ASFI offers opportunity to everyone as far as you're willing to play a role. Dr. Namu is one of the 510 candidates. And I tell you that we also scan what is happening and we try to support those who are willing to play a role to develop their personalities, their careers, and their network. So thank you for that. And to my team that has been there, always supporting Dr. Emma Sop, who is the ASFI Director, Science and Communications, and then Dr. Ajibola Oladejo, ASFI Director of Administration, for all the support. And for you, readers, for the opportunity you have spared to read, to interact with this series, and to come here to share your view. Before I release you, I would like to really know from you, well, let me start by saying, is there anyone that has not read any of the articles at all? I mean, just raise your hand. Just be sincere. There's no consequences of whatsoever. Is there anyone here that has not read any of those articles? You have not read any. Let me see. Anyone? Okay. I see one hand. One hand. All right. Okay. If I ask those that have read it, what they should say to you, they will tell you you have missed a lot. But it's not too late. The links are shared and we'll continue to share them. Please find time to pick them up. Is there anyone here? Yeah, you can be your hands down, that has just read just two or just one of the papers. Just one of the papers. Just one of the papers. Just one. All right. No hand. Anyone who has read just two? Who has just read just two? No hand. Is there anyone here that has read everything? Everything. Everything. Everything from cover to cover, from article number 1 to 8. Has read everything. Wow. 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 That's a big number. That has read everything. Well, others, if you have not read, I encourage you, take your time and read, meditate on it, reflect, and I think you'll find a place to move forward. All right, thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate the mics are open, so if you want to say hello or give a shout out there, it's time. But otherwise, I wish you a wonderful weekend.
This is addicting, right? Once you
Right.
read, you want to read more and more and more.
Thank you, Prof. Wright, and God bless you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you
Bye.
so much,
Yeah.
proprietor.
Thank you so much,
Professor
sir.
Mwaru, a question.
Thank you,
Thank
Prof.
you so
Thank you for
much.
sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you,
Thank
Prof.
you very
All
much.
right, colleagues. Prof. Miriam says she has a question.
Thank
Prof.
you. Thank you very much.
Yes, I wish to ask a
Thank you
question
so
to
much,
Professor
Prof.
Mwaru.
All right, Prof. Go ahead.
I have many questions, but I may just ask one. When you were going through your Kairos moments and seizing them, were you already conscious of Chronos and Kairos moments and was intentionally practicing them? Or did you realize this only after you looked back on your career trajectory?
Well, I have to say that at a time in my journey, I became conscious of them. And I still remember, this is quite a funny situation. I mean, the time I left my country for Europe, the time I left, it just happened that way. Just happened. And I still think about that. Why did it happen that way? And this was, if I just say it quickly, we just finished our university a year ago, and we wanted to go for a summer job in Canada. We got invitation, we got everything prepared. Our university in my home country, Nigeria, gave us all the support. And then we went to the Canadian embassy. I don't know if any of my colleagues is here at that time. I think it's 23 years ago or so. So we went there, we thought everything was cleared. And as we were there, we applied for the visa and they said, okay, we come back in the afternoon, they will make the decision. And so we went there. I think we were about 7 of us. The university gave us a bus, gave us undertaking, promised everything. But we lined up and they called us the decision time. And I tell you, we all failed. They didn't give us a visa. And I wonder, when I look back now, who would have given this young man? If you see my picture at that time, you wonder, no, there's no way they will give you a visa, but we were really optimistic. So we went back to our university, and I tell you, going back home, the bus we took were all quiet because it was a big disappointment. So as we got there, I got to my house quite late in the night. I had my cousin who was living with me. And so, yeah, he was sleeping. And then he told me that there was a letter from the university sent to you. And so, because I was not happy, I was sad. I said, well, I will check the letter. So I took my bath and I opened that letter. And that letter was the change of everything in my life. It changed everything. And that letter changed me, not anybody in my group, not any of the 7 of us, because we all also attempted that. And this was an application we applied to the University of Oslo. The Norwegian government had a scholarship they were giving to those from developing countries. So as I opened this letter, I read it with confusion. So I woke my cousin from sleep. I said, read this letter and tell me what it's talking about. And this letter, I think that was one of the best scholarships for master's degree at the time I traveled. And they offered me this scholarship. And I went to the embassy, Norwegian embassy in Nigeria, and they said, well, how did you get this? The Norwegians were asking me because they have not given this to Nigerians before. So that was a story of my career. How it changed, and I became aware that certain things don't happen, or certain things are meant for you, okay? And so I picked that up, and I can tell many stories, many trajectories I face. And when it comes to what is mine, I know, and there is an energy that propels in me to grab it. So that was what happened. Before that time, I didn't think about this. And so I started documenting, when I was speaking, I talked about my cabinet. I started documenting the events. I started observing them. I started taking taking note of them, and it changed everything about me in my life. So this was, yeah, sorry for taking your time, but to share this.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Can I ask one small personal question, if you don't mind? At the beginning of in the first series, in the first papers, when you kept talking about your family alignment with your family and talking about how you were missing your family, you were always talking about missing your young children. You said that several times.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few times you said family, but you never said you were missing your wife. Why was that?
So that is a personal question. I won't answer that here. But,
okay.
But yeah, if you have many of those questions, we can find private time to talk about them.
No, I don't have too many. I don't have them.
Okay.
I have those 4 questions and it's okay.
Okay, but I just want to say that I have heard many people say that if not for their family, they would have gone far in their career or something like that. But mine is the other way around. And I think it calls for commitment. I think people need to understand what life is all about. These things, whether you have a family, whether you have whatever, they are part of the life package.
Yeah.
And you have to carry them along. And if you carry them, you plan well, success is yours. But I tell you, if you think, okay, well, my career is the most important thing, I don't want any distraction, you discover that you get a point where you're missing, you're just empty within yourself, because there are certain things you dropped that would have been the spices of the times you're discouraged, of the time you wanted to give up. Those aspects are the strength you need at that time. So yeah, my family was so important to me because I was traveling quite a lot at that time when I moved abroad, and uniting with them was really a Kairos point for me, because that opened other doors, just making that decision, even though it felt like I was leaving a very lucrative position. But eventually, making that decision, it was a matter of time. Then I connected with even bigger opportunities that were waiting for me.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming to this. I know that nobody wants to leave, but we'll have weekend to plan, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yes, please just know that it's being recorded. So if you want to watch again, hopefully by this evening you'll find it on our ASFI YouTube channel, so you can watch them again.
Okay, Prof.
Thank you so much, insights.
It will help us.
Stay blessed.
Thank you.
Stay blessed, everyone.